Hello, dears. You ever just lay in bed and want to stay there all day? I almost moved this entire computer to my bed, but between the microphone, lights, and stuff, it would have been kind of crazy. Okay. So I believe Chandra is unable to watch, or not watch. God, wow, words. This is going to be a fun day. Chandra is unable to join us. She is traveling. But as you know, we can still get this story done. Right now, I am typing up the prompt because I didn't do that yet. And I'm really interested to see how this is going to end up going. Hi, dear. Enjoy golf.
I'm going to get rained on. For sure.
Yeah, it'll probably rain. All right. Words to include. Let's get those down. Got werewolf. Oh. So we got a few options. So I really love it when words can be multiple things, not just a noun, not just a verb. Or there's multiple meanings, like it could be multiple nouns. I always enjoy that. So today's prompt is a creature feature in present day. Words to include werewolf, barge, caramel, housefly, awesome, simmer, analogy, gulf. That is golf. Yeah, gulf, femur, and amber. Now, I just got to get a timer because we need that. Okay. YouTube is usually where I get my timers. And we know the location to not get timers now. Though Chandra is usually in charge of the timers, and she's done really well not to use timers from people we don't want. All right. All right. Because it's me and I like a little music in the background, we have... Oh, shoot. I also need to share a few things. Let me get my life together real quick. By the way, I hope everyone's doing well because I, other than wanting to sleep more because of my medication, I've been doing really well. I feel like I'm getting things done. I had sent 7 queries out between August 30th and September 1st, but I already got 2 replies like in the same day that I sent out the queries that said, hey, not interested. Which is fine because honestly, I want someone that like is a passionate about my project as much as I am. So, hey Laura, it's funny because I just got your timer for the sprint. Well, flash sprint. Where's my share my screen? We're gonna do window. There we go. No, I definitely want to be smaller. Yeah, sure, that'll work. Okay. But I'm actually excited about querying because the thing is, like I said, I want someone who's going to be as passionate about my projects as I am, because then I know that's the best way to be able to move forward. Also, I do have to realize that maybe when someone's not passionate, maybe it's the way I wrote my query or something. I do think of that maybe I'm not presenting it well enough. But at the same time, it's okay. Where I think I'm writing well enough that if someone was really interested in the story, they'd be able to see through any errors in my query letter or the synopsis or what have you. So, yeah, got that going for me. I am making my screen work for me right now because before I start this timer, I was about to start it, but before I start it, I need, well, not need, but I definitely want to have my Word document ready. Then I'm going to throw in in the chat here the prompt. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Oop. All right. I think I'm ready. Anyone jumping in? Luckily, you got everything that you need to get started if you want to join. Okay, enjoy Walk and Rory, Laura, and we will go ahead and switch over to the other screen so I can play this. All right. Happy productivity, getting coffee, whatever you need. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. I am jumping over. Oh, I got the next timer already. Thank you, Laura, or YouTube for suggesting Laura again. Okay, I am not done, but that's in true me fashion with these stories, and I don't have all the words in there, but I am really enjoying what's coming here, and I have an idea of where it's going to go. And it's unfortunate though, because some of these words, like awesome, to me, that's not something that's going to convey anything here. And housefly, I'm still curious I'm going to put that in. But analogy and golf and werewolf, I'm still pretty good. Everything else, I'm good. I think housefly is the one that's going to give me problems. Awesome was hard to put in, and I think I spent too much time in the 30 minutes to figure out how to put it in there. You know what, Eva? Thank you for the insight on the queries, because my favorite rejections are the ones that are not like auto reject forms, like you said. Like, I actually love getting rejections if it's feedback. I love those. Ooh, buzzing like a housefly. Yeah, that could work. And I was able to do a little bit with it. But I think in true me fashion, I think what I need to do right now is just go ahead and read what I have, which is not much. But then I can talk through the ending so that y'all can see where I was headed with this. All right. As bright as the moon was, it couldn't mask the primal sounds of the change. A cautious woman, seemingly out for a walk, dropped her overcoat as she fell to her knees. The smooth skin of her naked body filled with white, coarse hair. Her amber hair flipped as she tossed her head back to scream. The scream, shrill, ended ended in a low growl, deep like the foghorn of a barge. More jarring than the scream was the sound afterwards, a cascade of bones snapping, cracking, breaking. Then the crackle of growth. Her skulls, please don't shoot me with that Nerf gun. We don't shoot people. Sorry, this is what happens when my husband buys stuff for our son and then just leaves. Don't shoot me. You can set up one of your toys as an aiming thing. Like, put your garbage truck in the middle of the living room and you can shoot at that and aim for it, okay? Okay, cool. He just looked straight at me and said no. All right. Then the crackle of growth. Her skull's front elongated, showing caramel fur instead of white. The femur stretched, sending her hunched figure to look more like a runner's start. The fingers joined together as the nails turned to claws, rounding into paws. Lastly, a tail outstretched behind her, the white fur fanning the light of the moon. Her head remained bowed as her pointed ears twitched and churned to the sounds of the night. Her body shivered from her shoulders to her tail, a mere simmer to what it was before. A howl erupted from her muzzle, a warning to anyone or creature whose territory they were in. Her awesome power would stop anyone in their tracks, but what stopped her was the most curious. Before she bounded off, a panther sat a few yards ahead. Ooh, thanks, Yvette. So, yeah, I got hair twice. Okay, completely related to daddy leaving child. Yeah. To look more like, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that so that was the end that I have so far. Hold on, I have to call. I lean over and Lilo is right here. I'll actually show. Oh, there she is. And I lean over to cough, and she starts wagging her tail and hitting it against the wall. As if me leaning over to cough meant I was going to pet her. Okay, so I have, before she bounded off, a panther sat a few yards ahead. And so what my plan is the old adage of, and I was going to say the old analogy of fighting like cats and dogs is still true between werewolves and shapeshifters or something like that is what I was going to say. And that there's always a gulf between cats and dogs or something like that. And then that's how I was going to put it in. But then I still have an issue. Then I can put buzzing as a housefly, or the hum of a housefly was sounded like the hum of a housefly was actually the growl. Was the growl. I hate growl because I use growl already. So I'm trying to think of another word, but low. A low hum like a housefly. Housefly. I'm going to put growl because I can get another word for it. It was actually growls. Creatures. Edge. But when I was looking this up originally, I was thinking, what could be a nemesis to a werewolf? And of course, the only thing came up was vampires. And I was like, no, that's practically a cliche right now. It's vampires versus werewolves. And I was like, what would be another thing that fights that would be in a anti each other's existence? And hey Laura. And I was like, what could be that? So by the way, just finished your timer, Laura. I always love your music, your royalty free music, which I gotta double check and make sure the next timer says royalty free on it. Feel free to back up, Laura, because the prompt today was a creature feature in present day, even though you can't tell it's present day with my story. I am kind of lacking that. Something that I should probably put in this story, though, is that I imagined it was in a park, and maybe I should have a lamppost. So, anyway, so we'll go with that. Did you wake your sister up?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, seems the old adage. Maybe their phone can be a housefly metaphor. A witch who wants to keep the werewolf out of her garden. He keeps digging in it. It grows wolfsbane around the perimeter as a deterrent. Oh, I like that. See, this is why I like writers. We recognize the cliche, and sometimes we'll write to it and change something slightly to make it a different idea. Maybe tell it from the perspective of the antagonist versus the normal protagonist. But at the same time, we sometimes flip it on its head. And like, I went the cats versus dogs route. You went a witch who is making it seem like it's a pest and not a like not an actual fearsome creature, because like it's almost, I take it as like she doesn't care. Anything. Oh, that reminds me. So I was on Facebook yesterday. I'm gonna read this story if I can find it. I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, I should have grabbed it. But this woman had knocked her wedding ring, or a ring, into the sink, into the garbage disposal. So she sticks her hand, like pulls her sleeve back, sticks her hand in there, and uh, is digging around for it. And as she's digging for it, she hears the sound, "What mere mortal will you give me for the ring?" And she's looking around. She checks her phone, leans back and to check the TV and see it's not on. And then the thing speaks again, says, "I said, what mere mortal will you give me for your ring?" And that's when she realizes it's coming from the garbage disposal. And she asked it, and this is where I admit the story went away a little bit, but she said, "How can you speak with my hand down your mouth?" It says, "What are you talking about?" Well, and she says, "Well, I hear you with my ears, so I know it's not telepathy. So how can you speak?" And it goes back and forth, and he goes, "Why are you not afraid? All mortals are afraid." She goes, "Well, think about it. What if I've given you to eat this whole time?" And he starts listing off things like wolfsbane and uh lemongrass or something, like, and just list a whole bunch of herbs and spices and stuff. She goes, and he goes, "You're a witch." She goes, "Yes, exactly. Now I still need to finish." Spencer, please stop. She says, "I still need to finish this potion, and um and if you want, you're free to stay, just like the and then she has something else like living under the fridge or something like that." She goes, "You're free to stay, but I'm gonna need my ring back." He goes, "No, what would you give me?" She goes, "Seriously, like, stop trying." And she just holds out her hand going, "I gave you a place to stay. I've given you food and fed you. You're not getting anything more from me. So give me my ring if you want to stay here." So it spits out the ring and lands directly in her hand. And then as she turns to finish her potion, it goes, could I get some more lemongrass?" She goes, "Yeah, if you wait a little bit, I'll give you some more." And that's the end of the short story. And I just thought it was a cool take in a short story, and I enjoyed it. Now, of course, my memory sucks, and that was me just like paraphrasing it the whole time, but it works. So, regarding this flash fiction, I do have housefly, analogy, werewolf. I did not put golf in the last two lines here, but I'm sure I can get it in. And I'm at, let's see here. By the way, it probably wasn't lemongrass, but it works. I'm at 255 words, and my son wants me. Yes, dear. No, grandma is not awake yet, but after lunch, I will text her because she should be awake, and then y'all can talk. Okay. All right. This boy loves his grandma, and he wants to talk to her all the time on Skype. Storytelling and story writing aren't the same things, but you got the story told. It sounds like a humorous tale. Comedy is rare to find and hard to write. Comedy is so hard to write. Like last week, Chandra and I did this story, Comedy of Errors, and it was comical. It had comical elements, but we did not capture comedy of errors at all. And that was very difficult to do. Yes, Spencer, what do you need?
I want to play.
You want to play on my phone?
Mhm.
All right. There you go, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love it that he says thank you. It's so adorable. We're still working on please, and I'm sorry, but thank you is so cute and sweet. Okay, let's see the next prompt. And I need to save this. It is storming near my house, by the way. Like, rough. Like, it looks like nighttime outside, honestly. Or, like, dusk. I could go with dusk. Okay, we're going to file, save as episode 168. By the way, I'm still like 5 episodes behind where I should be. Or no, I'm where I should be. I should be at episode 168, but I've skipped 5 prompts up to this point. So, yeah, like I'm going to need to take a day or something. Though, so I did have an idea. So the Worldwide Write-A-thon announced their dates, which is October 21st through 23rd, if I remember correctly. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe that weekend is the weekend I can just be like, all right, you're getting 5 flashes done. Like catch up, get it done. Maybe I'll film it as like a background stuff. But I think it will work out. Because, I mean, if you think about it, that's not even, I don't even need to follow 5 live streams. I don't have to follow 5 live streams. Really, the way I usually work is I can just work off one sprint. Now, the 20-minute sprints won't be able to help me, but if it's like 30 minutes, or if there's the people who have really long sprints, like 45 minutes, definitely could get flashes done. All right, now I'm trying to find where I save writing prompts. There we go. Episode 168, creature feature. Okay. Now I need to open up a new Word doc, and I also need to throw this in. All right. Is it weird that what I considered whenever another child is around, would they play well together? I think that when I meet other kids that are around the same age as like my kids, I'm like, oh, I wonder if y'all would be friends. I think the boys would play well together. Okay. Whew, I had a scary moment. All right. Okay, now I'm going back to the streams because I was in saving. I mean, your comments. All right, Eva, the NYC Midnight. So I did the second one for their flash fiction. I did because I signed up for the first one, so now I was open to do the second one. I've seen their microfiction, so it's 400 words or less, and you can submit up to 3. And I think I'm going to do that one. You have until September 18th, I know, to send those in. But that's what's coming up. But I am in already for their flash fiction challenge where you get like a prompt and such. So, and I'll share with y'all the first one I got was I got to try something new. It was political satire, which I've never written before. And I decided to do a take on the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, where I set them fighting in an exercise class because that was the setting that it had to be in. And they were fighting, and then at the end, you find out it's kids that are fighting, and Coach Penny. Okay, and Coach Penny for the exercise class says, I should have been a lawyer. At least I would be dealing with adults at the end, even though everything I just listed was among kids and they were acting like kids. So, oh, the story that you were editing for the person was a comedy. Yeah, that's a tough one. My second story, it's supposed to be a mystery. And so I did write a mystery about an editor who was working past hours, and he ends up in this speech he's editing. You know how we blip out like the tiny hills of sound? He's usually just deletes it, but he decided to listen to one, and he heard someone talking very faintly, but it was like a robotic voice. And he was thinking, oh, great, the artist took their phone into the booth. They're not supposed to do it. So he ends up going back to the audio and starting over and deleting all the speech in between the tiny hills, and then he plays the tiny hills, and it turns out to be someone asking for help, like bits and pieces of asking for help. So he goes into the booth, listens, can't hear anything, but then he decides to go back outside the booth and press record, and that's when you see a whole bunch of tiny hills. And it's somebody asking for help, saying they're still alive, help. Wow, it's really thundering and storming out there. And as it turns out, there's somebody in the wall of the sound booth, and he finds them by using a handheld microphone and headphones, and gets them out. And it's a young girl. And there's a little hint to what put her there. So that's the mystery I did. And I had Chandra help review it. And then I had a friend who writes mysteries help me review it. Just bounce from the chats when the timer comes on screen. Don't worry about coming back late. If you decide to write Flash during the sprints. Yeah, I could do that. That's a valid point. And I don't often let the sprint timer stop me. I like to stop at the end of the scene. So I miss the ends of sprints often. Oh, you heard the boom. Cool. I do like thunderstorms. I think that's why I like Laura's timers. Because it's like brimming around. But now, I guess with it storming and then me listening to her timers, and her timers usually end with the storm, with the thunder, I'm going to question. I'm going to think the thunder outside maybe is going to be the end of the timer, and then I'm going to look up and realize it's not. There's another boom. So a rolling boom instead of just a clap. So let me write in prompt number 2. We'll get this. So this prompt actually kind of makes me think of another prompt. The prompt itself says, a last call at a bar in a big city. And that reminds me of another Flash I wrote. I wrote it when Lauren Adele was on stream with me. I think probably back in February or maybe in January. But in that stream, I wrote a story about a girl who was handling the bar, and an entire rugby team came in and was very rowdy and such. And she was just like, I'm not going to survive this. Like, this is too much. I'm about to quit. But right as they leave, they ended up cleaning up for her because they know they're crazy and rambunctious and stuff. And they ended up cleaning up their space for her and taking things back to the kitchen. And so it was an interesting thing, because I think I set it up where like there was a businessman that left a mess and stuff. Like all these people that you thought would be a little cleaner and nicer were kind of rude. But then the rugby team, who you were like, oh my God, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, they were sweet. All right. I'm just typing in the words that we need to include. Oh man, I need to get some better glasses at some point. Okay. I'm going to copy this so I can create my stuff. Okay, save. All right. Prompt number 2 is last call at a bar in a big city. Words to include are, and yeah, let me edit that real quick because it just says words. Words to include. Okay, words to include are, sorry, I want y'all to visually see it because if you're like me, you like to hear it as you're looking at it. Okay, prompt number 2, last call at a bar in a big city. Words to include are doppelganger, platypus, jazz, alienate, bikini, constitution, batter, temper, basin, and rift. Yeah. Anybody wondering, this is episode 167 because I've almost stopped doing my pre-recorded videos because work's gotten busy, and I can always have time for my live streams because they're on the weekend, but pre-recorded videos are getting a little harder for me to do right now. So appreciate you listening, Eva, and you know what, I'll be playing music from Laura's God, words. Come on, Natalie. This is what you do. I'll be playing a little bit of music from Laura's timers. So let's, oh, and also, I will also post in chat a copy of it for anybody who comes in. And that way you don't have to retype the words. And there's some crazy storms. Why are we getting games on my phone? You like it?
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, buddy. Luckily, I'm in a benevolent mood today.
You're funny.
You're funny too.
You're funny too, Mom.
You're funny.
You're funny too.
Thank you. Okay.
Dada.
It's downloading, yes. There you go, buddy. You're welcome. Okay. Let's get this started. Be productive in however you wish, even if it's sleep. 3, 2, 1. All right. I am so almost done with this, and I don't want to like back away from it yet. So, hello, everybody. We had a lot of people come in. Michael, Phoebe, Margaret, Shannon came in. I think, yeah. They always come in heavy at the end. Okay. So luckily, this next part is pretty easy for me. And I just remembered. It is so gloomy, but I love it. Hey, and it's got a little brighter. There was during the last timer, there was a big clap of thunder, like shake the house and the windows thunder. If I was outside, I would have felt it in my chest, I'm sure. So I like rainy weekends. Like, I'm probably going to see if my daughter wants to watch a movie or something, and we'll just like end up hanging out on the couch. See if my son wants to join in. Hey, speaking of, Spencer, eat your breakfast. Okay. He says not yet, but he's had 2 out of the 4 donuts. No, 3 out of the 4 donuts. Okay, maybe I shouldn't get on to him for eating breakfast. He's actually doing pretty good. So Laura's timer has thunder in it, but I've been dealing with real thunder over here. I was actually thinking of scenarios that if my internet went out, I would have to sign into StreamYard on my phone and hope to be able to sign in and in the stream if that was the case, or just stream from my phone, which I've done before. I do like the rain. So my growing up, I used to my parents, well, they still do, but they had a motorhome, and we would go camping, even though I know some people don't believe being in a motorhome is camping. But I would have like the bunk that's right above the driver's seat, and I loved it. And going to sleep with rain coming down on the roof is just awesome. I actually have sleep sounds that I go to sleep with each night, and it has thunder, ocean, rain, I think even a trickling river or something, which oddly enough doesn't make me feel the need to go to the bathroom. So let's see here. Oh, finishing the story. Okay, this is kind of a creepy story, so I'm interested to see what y'all have to say about it. I actually wrote a lot more words. So in prompt number 1, I wrote 255 words. To this prompt, I ended up writing 487, and I did use, I believe, all the words. So I did vary it a little bit, like alienate became alienated, so forth. All right. Small. Okay. That's so much like Laura's writing about being in the small end of the boat as a kid and hearing the weird deeps of sea music as she fell asleep from Spirit Things, an essay collection I recommend highly. Yeah, Laura has just, her descriptions are just so beautiful and perfect. Like she invokes the 5 senses. She knows how. It is gorgeous. So, all right, here is prompt number 2 for today's stream. And I'll read to you. All right, buddy, your cab's here. Time to go, the large bouncer said to a drunken fool. He was still in a suit, his tie loosened. He was probably a gentleman when he first came in after leaving his lawyer stock or hedge fund job, but getting to the bottom of the basin will remove all manners from even Mother Teresa. Get your hands off me. I know the Constitution. You're not kicking me out. It's time for me to leave because my right is here. The man slurred his speech. Sorry, I don't know how to slur. Slurred his speech as he swayed off his chair. His drunken doppelgangers sat down their beers and mixed drinks, slowing their once chugging approach. His drunken doppelgangers in the corners of the bar sat down. All right.
Mom, I need my plain.
You're plain water? Okay, I'll get it for you in a little bit.
I feel blowing.
Okay, well, I'll grab it for you in a little bit. Let me finish. Okay. After the temper and the man with it left, the jazz could be heard through the overhead speakers once again. The bartender rang the bell from behind the counter. Last call, she shouted. I chugged back my beer and head to the bathroom before going out to the streets again. The bathroom is covered with women and men in bikinis. The odd part was the alienated platypus picture above the sinks. Someone had taken a marker and colored a bikini over it, but it still stood out. As I washed my hands, the water churned thicker, like batter, but still clear and didn't stick to me. I threw away the paper towel, ignoring the rift. The paper towel that dried my hands. See, I think of things. Ignoring the rift. I decided to sit at the bar and order one last beer, even though it was closer to the bathroom than even though it was closer to the bathroom than where I was sitting before, it felt further away. Climbing onto the stool was even harder. I practically had to hop on it like a horse. Once situated, I got my beer. Work was tough this week. Even my tie felt like it was choking the life out of me more than my job was. I drank half the beer before I set it down on the counter again. The glass wobbled like something was underneath it, preventing the bottom being level. I lifted it up and checked, and some of the beer spilled out. I set it down again, and the glass sat level. I nodded in triumph. Looking around, I saw the bar still seemed pretty crowded for last call already announced. I tossed back the last bit of the beer, leaning a bit too far back, but I grabbed the edge of the bar to prevent me from falling over. The glass laid on its side when I set it down this time. All right, buddy, your cab's here. Time to go, the large bouncer said to me. He grabbed my arm and I yanked myself from his grasp. Get your hands off me. I know the Constitution. You're not kicking me out. It's time for me to leave because my right is here, I said as I slid off the bar stool. After I got outside, I heard the bell ring inside for last call. Oh, yeah, spelling of Laura. I didn't notice that. And yes, we did just time loop. I didn't think of it until I had the character washing their hands in the bathroom that I went, okay, what's going to happen? Otherwise, this is like a slice of life. I was like, what is happening? What's going on? And then it came to me. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That was a good one. Yes, Zoe, what's up? Yes, you can watch The Walking Dead, but I was also gonna, after I was done streaming, I was gonna have us watch a movie. If you want to go ahead and start looking and pick one out. Remember, Spencer's got to watch too. Okay. My daughter was like, "Can I watch The Walking Dead?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it aired on TV. It's not like it was on HBO or Showtime at 10 o'clock at night." So, all right. I'm not alone, but the Mister is a doting father. So best of both worlds, Margaret. I didn't follow that, by the way. So, gosh, I'm hungry. What time is it? 10:24. That's actually not too bad. Anything. All right. But yes, we ended up time looping. I'm at 497 words. Happy with that. She said we can reign alone. Oh, yes. Yes. Tracking now. Thank you, Eva. Bring me back into the fold. God. I'm going to be drinking lots of water today, which is funny. I feel like I'm more dehydrated on days where it's raining. All right, thing. Okay. So heads up, because we were talking about this earlier. Midnight. So NYC Midnight does, what is it called? Contests and such, usually for flashes. I think it's also done it for short stories. And currently, we got a second round of assignments for the flash fiction competition. What if I already submitted for? And I spoke about that before. First round was political satire, and I decided to satire on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Second round was writing a mystery, and had to be in a studio. I don't think it said sound studio, but it said studio, and so I made it a sound studio. And we'll see how that works out. The next thing is I think there's another microfiction round. And I'm looking on their website just because I like to let people know what's happening. Okay, November 18th is the 250-word microfiction. The 100-word microfiction is the final round is right now. Oh, but that means you would have had to sign up a while back, I think. Huh. Yeah, I feel like I gotta look at the 100 words. I want to say I did 100. There's a rhyming story, by the way. Good. My husband's safely in the car. He decided to golf today. He didn't think the rain would be that bad, so he's shortened his golf with the storm. So, here we go. September 23rd is a rhyming story challenge. And this is like brand new. You didn't have to sign up and everything. So rhyming story as a rhyming poem with plot or simply a story that rhymes. That's how they're defining it. And I'm not one that's done rhyming really well, and I'm really intrigued by this, but like part of me wants to enter, the other part of me doesn't, because I know I'm not going to win, but I still think it's a good test. Yeah, the rhyming story is the new one. Thanks, Eva. I like the alienated platypus getting a bikini drawn on it. It just seems like just a drunk thing to do. Yeah. I might try that one, but I definitely think it's going to be some work. And I don't know if they have... They do a short story thing. I don't know if they have a time frame, or not a time frame. Okay. You got 3 days to write a 500-word story that rhymes. That's what it is. So it's going to start on the 23rd. You're given an emotion. Oh, okay. Here, hold on. I'm looking at the rules. So you're given an emotion, a unique genre, a theme, and emotion assignment, and you will have 8 days to write a 600-word story that rhymes. That's the first round. Then the second round, which all writers can be a part of. It doesn't matter if you rated well in the first round or not. In the second round, you get a new genre, new theme, and new emotion, but will only have 3 days to write a 500-word story that rhymes. Judges will select finalists from the second round, and the remaining writers are challenged to write a rhyming story no longer than 400 words in just 48 hours in the final round of the competition. So you got 3 rounds, and it's interesting, but at the same time, I'd go into it knowing I'm not going to win, but the journey is just as fun. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that NYC Midnight's good for that. There's other ones. Dude, Eva, I will totally swap with you, dear. 100%. I'll do it just to have an account buddy with me. And I'm sure even Chandra might join in with us too. So we'll see. I might sign up. I might go ahead and sign up for that. We got 20 days to sign up. And then on the 23rd is when we'll get announced our genre and theme and emotion that we're supposed to put in. So go with it. All right. I am hungry. It is 10:30. Gonna try to watch a movie with the kids. Try to eat. Well, trying to eat is not an issue. I can eat all the food. It's trying to be healthy with my choices, because there is candy and chocolate cake, which I'm totally tempted to make breakfast, but I also rather have it for dessert. I like it better when it's earned. So thank you everybody for coming in. I appreciate it. Thanks for the feedback on the stories. I always love y'all's input, and we will see y'all next Saturday. I think it's going to be on my channel again, because I believe Chandra is traveling. But if anybody's interested in live streaming with me for a flash, let me know. I might snag you up and we'll go through it. So enjoy your day and go find some other sprinters, YouTubers, Twitches, whatever, to support. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Oh, I gotta